and thank all of you for coming for the launch of this book that took me 14 years to write. Honestly, I didn't think I'd live long enough for it to happen, so I'm really happy to be here. Robin, thank you for what you said. I wrote this book to hopefully be a remedy for the times that we're living in. There's so much extreme everything, extreme anger, extreme emotion, extreme discontentment, that I thought poetry was a beautiful way of channeling extreme emotions into something tangible, real, and living. And so the purpose of Ignite, and I'm warning you that I'm explaining it because what I tried to do was focus on the things and the threads that unite us all as human beings. All of us have things that we love to create. All of us have people that we love. Even our ridiculous suburban dysfunctional families are hilarious and beautiful and kind of sacred if we're in the moment and we observe them. So what Ignite does is it chronicles all of those beautiful things that touch us and make us feel part of something bigger than ourselves. And because it's all these different things, you're going to hear different styles of poetry. Some slam, some rhyme, some don't, some are classic, some are narrative. And so I'm not schizophrenic. I'm just chronicling all the many different things that can really make life worth it and beautiful. And as part of why I think poets are necessary, I'll start out with just this simple poem. Poet. Standing, bleeding, crying, laughing, puzzling, preaching, encouraging, agitating, moving, breaking, offering, engaging, naked, afraid, braving all, undefended. The second one is called Good Editor, and you have to buy the book to hear what I say about the bad editor. It's a doozy. Good Editor. Words waiting. A scraggly cactus alone in the desert, no oasis or contact in sight, bearing a couple of anemic green prickly bulbs. Shepherded until they erupt from the ground that formerly held them down, blossoming and cascading. They spill over into the parched ground, taking a firm foothold deep in the sandy soil, at last meeting their destiny. This next poem was actually a very specific answer to a very specific prayer. It's called Volcanoes. Tumbling down, gray, wet, boiling over, in a hurry to descend before it freezes and petrifies forever, my mood settles in solitude. I sit on a courtyard bench, my heart gathering itself in rest. A kind of fluttering precedes all-out chaos, an explosion of children in their bright red uniforms cascading and erupting every which way, their laughter raining down around me like glowing sparks, tumbling in the sunshine and thawing me. There's possibility in each shining face. They flutter around me, brushing me with their backpacks. An angel plops down unceremoniously next to me to tie her shoe. Artemis. Artemis must have strolled on a night like this when all the cliches told become vivid in their truth. The stars held in a seal of indefinable blue, each step in turn, out of the firmament to model their subtle hue. The fall air finally cuts through the fog of care, sending all things that buzz or sting home for the holidays. All things seem too large and bright to even acknowledge mortality on this night. And now for something completely different. Shawshank Redemption bathroom. Someone tried to tunnel their way out of this house through the bathroom and failed. Perhaps she was jailed in the bath itself as a means of decorative torture, forced to take in the popcorn ceilings, falling tile, and 1960s colors, until the prisoner finally snapped, attempting to dare her way out through the sheetrock with a spoon or sharpened toothbrush, Her escape route is clearly marked. The holes bear witness until redemption can be purchased. Free. I am. Wind blowing rebellious purple tendrils in my mouth. I have view and vantage of the gull as she flies. Mockingbird song opens my heart to capacity. Master of the dance of life in this moment. Ebb, flow, high, low, ride, retreat, victory, defeat, repeat. This is a request. It's called Beulah. I'll call her Beulah. She's got powers. A little vehicular snobbery is a good thing if it's what's maintaining sane. She may be impractical, illogical, and improbable, but I'll never regret taking her home. Though older, she is timeless. The roar when I turn the key is music to me, no matter where she's been, is going, or for how long. My moving metaphor for so many important things, she springs into motion, a panther on wheels. A steel sculpture come to life when necessary, without ambivalence, existentialism, or angst. I don't have to explain the itinerary in advance. I can show up, turn the key, and trust. I'm on the right journey, and I'll get there. She's not resistant to being seen, noticed, talked about, or leaving when it's time. When things are closing in, she reminds me to focus on what is good and just keep moving. A little alcove of comfort, beauty, and speed in this overcrowded world, unadulterated, unqualified, unjustified, yet sanctified. Joy has no price tag. And then there's love. There's one kind of betrayal, and then there's another. One is a short, devastating bleed out, and the other is death by a million tiny paper cuts, each injury seemingly too small to stop life goes on and give reverence. Like one burnished leaf falling and then another, no one notices until the tree stands picked bare and it is the dead of winter. Too late to declare the seasons are changing, each casual lie, bold-faced but small, piling each upon the other, slowly creeping into a neatly raked mound in the driveway, a monument to cowardice. Endangered species. I miss men. Of the hairy chest, unmanicured hand, and unsprayed hair. Unexfoliated, undomesticated, unmanscaped, unbotoxed, unperfumed. I miss men who don't fight me for mirror time and beauty products, who aren't looking for a sugar mama to keep them in their Dolce & Gabbana, who read a newspaper or remember what one is, who are jealous because they're monogamous. Are there still men who harbor unshared opinions and cry, but sparingly? Hopefully they're like the Loch Ness Monster, hiding in plain sight and biding their time, waiting for the demise of the metrosexual. All right. I have one short one, actually two more short ones. This one's called Digital God. There's no way I could not write this poem. I travel only at the navigation minion's behest. Siri is a power-lusting bitch. She's leading me to the river Styx. Then, according to her whim, she says, "I'm sorry, rerouting." He sits on the couch beside me, tending his god. I fade into the couch upholstery. She stops mid-word, fork mid-air, averts her eyes from those of her clearly interested partner, eating the beeps and chimes, the candlelit table becoming an island on which he is marooned. I schedule my tweets and posts to serve and honor it, fearing I'm not fast, witty, or prolific enough, and will be punished. The memo pad barks its commands, and I spring into frenzy while the owl outside succumbs to sleep. Sentinel. The boys, 8 and 12, run naked circles in the front yard, gleefully shouting, "What will the neighbors think?" The girl mangles the Grieg concerto in A minor with gusto at 50 decibels. As the sentinel, in her moo-moo glistening with basset hound slobber, never strays from her post. Never flinching, she relentlessly waters her orchids at her picture window overlooking absolutely everything. And the last one I'd like to do is, there it is, Queen of the Night. 364 fruitless days and nights she has waited, seemingly no more than a dead branch reaching for the night sky. Ignored and untended, she silently strives. But on the 365th night, she suddenly bubbles forth, fulfilling every expectation. Queen of the night, blooms like soft white stars adorn her long stems, attracting multitudes of admirers. She reigns unquestioned until dawn, and then the queen is gone.